Hi, and welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today I am so excited to introduce to you inventor Leslie Pierson. Leslie is amazing. And I say amazing a lot because I think women are amazing. And so I know every week you hear me say amazing. So every week you should find somebody you think is amazing as well and tell them. So if you like Leslie as much as I like Leslie, and you like me as much as I like me, you should follow me. Hi, and welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today's guest is Leslie Pierson. I'm so excited to hear her story. She is the founder of Good Hang-Ups, and I'm so looking forward to learning about that.
Yeah.
And she chose an old-fashioned, and I know we've done an old-fashioned once before, so I'm not going to tell you what's in it. But cheers!
Cheers!
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is one good old-fashioned. I love
A good old Cafe Racer old-fashioned.
Best.
Yes. So I met Leslie online, actually. Today was the first day that we met each other in person. We met if you're in Seattle and you're a woman who has business and wants to get out and network, it's called the F-Bomb Breakfast Club. And so it's a networking group online and also meets in person once a month for breakfast, and I think in the afternoon, and they do some happy hours too.
They did for a while, but I haven't done those in a little while. But mainly it's the first Effin' Friday of every month. I don't know if it gets where.
Effin' Friday.
Yeah. Of every month we get together at like 7 in the morning. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's good. Have you been to the breakfast?
I haven't gone to
the breakfast. Oh, you got to come. They're really inspiring, really fun.
Okay, good.
And Megan, who runs it, could not be better. She's just so authentically. She shares everything, and she makes you realize how much maybe you're not aware that you're kind of pretending to be something, because she's just so herself. I love it. It always gives me a good check when I meet her.
Okay, I'll have to go. I was invited. I've been going to go for months, but it hasn't happened.
We'll go together sometime.
Yay, please.
Yes,
and Karen, who owns Lulu's over here, goes too.
Awesome.
And Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Logan. Mm-hmm. And we've interviewed Logan.
Yes.
So the fun thing that I kind of want to say is that Leslie won Shark Tank in 2016. And Logan, who you have met through interviews, and Liz Larson, who you've also met through interviews, were coached by Leslie to go on to Shark Tank.
To do the open casting call.
Open casting
call.
So
there's a whole process that goes with it, but the first step is the open casting call, and we got a whole crew. It's a lot of F-bombers who got together, and we kind of did our pitches together until we could get it ready, and then we all went down. It was so much fun.
Nice. And that was after you'd won, because that was this
This was this last time. Yeah, I've actually coached, so there's a whole process with Shark Tank, and Shark Tank's a weird show. Like, I love it. I've been a super fan since from the beginning. I loved it before I had Good Hang-Ups. But the process is strange, and it's a formula on some level. You might know your business really well, but you have to figure out how to make it work for television and make it work for the judges, for the investors. And so it's a weird process that I know a lot about, and it serves me in no other way than if I help people do Shark Tank. Because it doesn't come up any other time. It's not like prepping for a VC. It's nothing like prepping for VC money. It's nothing like that. So it's very different, but I love doing it. So I've helped 2 people who filmed. I just helped them right before they were filming and getting their questions and practicing. And then I invested in a company last year, and then I helped them get on the show, and they just aired recently. So it's fun. Yeah, I was like, I'm the shark now. I invested in them, and then I got them on the show.
That's very cool.
They got themselves on, but I helped them have a great experience.
You groomed them and guided them and coached them.
Well, and it's just nice when you're going through one of those weird processes. You have a lot of second guessing and questioning yourself. So if all I am is somebody that you can call and say, hey, what should I do on this issue? I said, well, here's the answer. I can tell you the exact answer. And if I 100% don't know, I can ask other people who've been on the show, so it's nice.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're a celebrity.
It's fun. I really love doing it.
An entrepreneur and a celebrity. I love that. And
I don't know if I'm a celebrity, but
and your son is an entrepreneur.
He
At 8 years
is.
old.
Yes.
He is taking up and following his mom.
Well, you know, when I first started this, I started with the kid version, and then we have another version that's for bigger things. It was really about hanging his stuff.
Okay.
And then when I thought about doing the whole, actually starting the business and actually making it, I thought, well, I have to show him how to take risks. Actually, I got really drunk with a friend. Okay. So we were drinking heavily, and we were and I had asked her, my friend Lisa Jessica, she's amazing. So I'm gonna make her watch because she knows
Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. So she's freaking awesome. So she and I were talking, and she was like, oh, I should get back into doing my art. And I was like, oh, what's stopping you? And she's like, fear and failure. And I was like, she just said it so easily. I was like,
it's so factual.
It's so factual. And the older you get, the easier it can be to say, no.
Fuck fear.
Yeah. Well, but I think some people will say it's too risky. Like they lose their ability. You have a different, I like the way you go.
I'm
you got
52.
bolder, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh
And
my God, 52.
I think
I better hurry up.
I think hearing her talk about it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally get that. And then we were drinking a lot of wine and talking, and we were like, yeah, you know what? We shield our kids from failure. Like we want to show them a perfect world where their jobs are, you have the same job forever, and blah, 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 blah. You don't show the ups, the downs, and whatever. And I was like, this doesn't really prepare them for the real world when they go out and fall flat on their face and have to get themselves back up. So part of the reason I even did it was like, if I go and I try this and it doesn't work out and I share it all with him, then if it doesn't work out, he'll see that I failed and that I got back up and I moved on and I did something else.
Right.
So it was kind of that part.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And he got to see that, and he tried it himself.
And then I just don't even think he has he's 8, so it's like he doesn't have the fear yet at all. And so then I think, well, now that he's started his own business, I wonder what will happen to him when a lot of kids start to second guess themselves as they get older, like maybe, early teens, and that kind of thing. I wonder what will happen to him if he's already started a business. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It'll be fun to,
we'll
watch.
We'll see, yeah.
10 years, we'll
exactly. Watch. Who knows?
Okay, so you started Good Hang-Ups to help your son.
Yes.
To put his.
It was mainly because my son was 4 at the time, and he was bringing home. Yeah, absolutely. We can show you. This is the version for kids art, and it comes with. This was an older packaging than we used to do, and I just still keep it around. But it's part sticker, part magnet. So the thing that I had the problem with, my issue was that my son would bring home, here are the stickers, here are the magnets.
Let's see what happens when we touch them.
Yes.
Okay, your son would bring home.
My son would bring home art every day, right? He was like in preschool, and they're not masterpieces, so I'm not going to frame them. But I needed a way to hang them up so that it didn't feel like it's on the fridge. It's not very respectful to the art. It's, look what you guys do with art. Yeah. Like this is saying we appreciate the art.
Okay.
Putting it all in the fridge is not very respectful to the art, in my mind.
Yeah, well, and it falls
all the time. That was my problem. It would fall down, or you'd pile it on top of each other, and so so it just sticks on there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So these are stickers.
Yeah. So if you want to, it even works on this type of material. I can show you on that. So you could stick it on the side here. So this could be any surface, like a wall or a brick, concrete textured wall. So I'll just stick it right there. And then you could put. We can hang this up. Yeah, you can just put that there.
So this is a piece of vinyl cloth. I want you to see. There's a sticker there.
You stick that on there and hold it.
It's
whoops, because of the fold on it. But yep, so you can stick it on pretty much any surface.
Yeah,
and it'll hold. Like we often for something that's double. So
that was
thing.
2. It wasn't a single poster.
So, and I can put it like this. So we do it for holiday cards and things like that. But for our
holiday card,
right?
Mother, if you're watching, this is a good holiday card.
It's my favorite thing because the best part of these is that you put the sticker here, but it's removable and reusable. So you can decide you want to stick it on wood over here, or up there, or even on glass, on anything really. You stick it right there, and you just rub the white area part of it, and that makes it stick.
The white area.
Exactly. Now we can stick this guy and that guy, or you can, however you want.
I just wanted to show.
Boom. Yep.
Can you see it?
See it?
So glass and a vinyl tablecloth.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you're making a dinner, if you're like sitting down to dinner,
good
you
idea,
actually
right.
could put little
Totally. Yeah, you can
and-
do anything up to a 24 by 36 inch poster. For the smaller magnets that we have, a one that's not for kids art, but this one's for kids art. And so it goes up to like a 14 by 11 piece of kids art. And so what I loved about it was I made this to solve my problem.
Right.
Because I just wanted to solve my issue. And then I realized that he would come home and change the artwork out himself. He would be like, oh, I don't want to put a new one up. But our walls were covered in this kind of way. But he felt so proud. I could see how proud he was.
Right.
And I'm a commitment phobe. I don't like to put holes in the wall.
No, I don't.
And so I started using them with the smaller magnets and putting up posters and things. And then I thought, well, this guy can't be alone in this issue. And so, so then
And then you put it here. And I love what I wrote is what you wrote.
Yeah.
What I'm reading. No, I didn't write it. I heart your art.
Yeah.
So, and we're an art bar.
Exactly.
I love this.
Really, that was what it was about. Like, we have a lot of photographers and people, and they're like, we're not going to frame every piece of photography, but yet you'll put it up in a quick and easy way. We've had gallery shows that have done the whole show with, there was a thing where James Franco and one of the local artists here did a whole gallery show. They hung the whole thing with good hangouts.
Oh, wow.
It was so cool. And so when they'd sell a piece, they could take it down and put a new one up.
Yeah, we have Henry
Oh,
Ryan Ward will
yeah.
be here.
Oh, cool.
He'll be speaking here on the 5th for Love Church.
Oh, neat.
And then he'll be here for July and August, I think.
Oh,
August
that's
and
awesome.
September, I can't remember.
That's so
but
cool.
August for sure, because his
Very
birthday's
cool.
in August.
Oh, very cool.
So it'll be interesting. I will
give you some
find
too,
out
Leslie.
if there, because he doesn't usually frame his art.
Yeah.
You know, because it's good art.
Yeah.
So this is, so we usually talk about passion.
Yes.
And it sounds like solving your problem was the passion.
Well, partly that, and it was that I wanted to solve the problem, but I really like to show that I like something. Like, I don't want it, if I buy something, I buy a lot of art. It's often prints, and I don't have enough wall space for everything, but I can change it out regularly. So it was partly solving my problem, but partly just how much joy it brings me to have art changed and art on the walls and that kind of stuff. So it was my problem that was changed.
So I'm curious, because this is, I would never have thought of this. I couldn't have dreamt this. I just couldn't have. It's brilliant. So
Thank you.
How is it, like, before you created this wonderful product, how did your brain work? What are the things you did in the back that created so that you could come up with this passion? Or what was your passion prior?
I had a business. I've had the same business before this product existed. So we used to make decals for laptops and cell phones and things. So I knew a lot about adhesives. And so most decal adhesive is too aggressive. And so I was like, well, I just did more and more research on the adhesive. But the challenge for this was I knew there was a way to do it. I just didn't know how. And the main thing was that it had to be light enough, and then it had to be reusable on every surface, which is really hard to do. So I ruined a lot of walls, but in the end I found a solution that worked.
Nice. Okay, so you had a history of...
Yeah, so and then I had the idea with every day my son would bring more art home and more art home. And I keep thinking there has to be a way. And if I taped his art, that crappy kind of cardstock art that kids do and stuff.
Yeah.
If you tape it, it ruins it, because when you try and take the tape off, it pulls it back. So I was like, there's got to be a better way. And I went to the store and I tried to find something, and I just kept thinking, it just needs to be magnetic so I can change it. Like, I don't want to use it one time. I need to change it a lot of times. So it was just, I ruminated on it, and then, to be honest, I was contemplating closing my business down, because it wasn't my passion anymore. Like, making decals was not very exciting for me. And I was having a conversation with my friend Rebecca, and we were talking, and I said, I think I'm going to shut the business down. She's like, you've said this many times before. I think you should do it if you want to do that. And I said, but that idea I had with Good Hang-Ups was a good idea. And she's like, then do it. And the way she said it was like, you've been talking about this too long. Either do it or don't do it. And I thought, okay. So then I gave myself a month. I knew a lot, but I didn't know everything. So I gave myself a month of February. There was this Do you know Seth Godin?
I don't.
It's like he writes a lot about like entrepreneurship, but kind of how people think and things like that. But he had a program that was called Ship It. It was like this little PDF you could download, and you wrote all this stuff down, and it was like, you cannot do something perfect on time and on budget. You have to pick a couple things. Like you have to ship the minimum thing, and the PDF required you to sign that you were going to commit to it. It made you pick a date, and I picked the end of February, and I signed that I was going to do it. And something in that signature, and nobody else knew I was doing it, but like I felt like, okay, I'm going to give it the month. And
you
then
committed to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was like, oh, but I've had other ideas that I've created to the point of a product and never launched because I got fear of failure. I got a lot of fear of failure. So this time, because my son was 4, and I think I was mentioning my friend Lisa, and I were talking about failure. I thought, well, if I go for this now, it has a benefit if it doesn't work out. Before I couldn't see the benefit if it didn't work out, and so I was like, well, then I'll go for it. And I'll just tell him all along the way what I'm doing. And if it doesn't work out, I win anyway because he sees me fail. And he'll have an experience in his head when he is, 25 and has his first big, plop on the ground failure. He'll be like, oh, yeah, Mom got up and moved on.
Right.
But yeah, so that was kind of how the mindset went for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, okay, so you gave yourself the month of February.
Yes.
And you came up with this
brilliant
idea. So, just so you know,
yeah.
I did, like the wainscoting half wall. I have a half metal wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because same problem.
Yep.
Too much stuff that needs to be like
totally
pictures and art
exactly.
and like traveling things. People
Absolutely.
give you things, postcards when they travel, and everybody wants
I love
them
this.
seen.
Ooh, I want to see a picture of this. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah. I'll have you over for dinner. You can
I
put
love
it in
it.
the entryway.
I'll take it.
I
love it.
A tree called the N tree, and
nice.
then a galvanized half metal wall.
So smart.
I don't know about that. This is so smart.
Yeah, well, it turns any wall into a magnet board. That's how I always describe it when I have to get to the short thing. It's like, it turns your wall into a magnet board.
I love that.
Yeah.
They don't have to go out and get a piece of metal cut.
Yeah, right. And
shop.
it can be any time. You could do it for 5 minutes and change it. You don't have to have it be permanent. It's great for, temporary signs. Like, I don't know, there's 100 uses. It's fun to watch people use it because things I never thought of. And I'm like, ooh. One person wrote in and said they use it in their shower. They stuck one on each side, and then they use magnets to keep the shower curtain from opening in the water. And I was like, in a million years, I would never think of that.
That's a good idea.
So it's great to see when you make something and somebody else figures a new way out to use it. I'm like, great.
Because the magnets on the liners never work. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think they probably didn't have one of those magnetic liners, and they were like, oh, I'll make my own with this. Yeah.
Okay, so you gave yourself a month. You figured out all your things. You'd already owned a business, so you understand the business model and what it means to own a business, right?
Yeah, I had the business running, so it wasn't like I had to figure out the business side of it. But I wasn't at the time good at marketing. And so one of the challenges I'd had with the last business, before this business, but in the early days, is that the first product line I did, which were skins for laptops, when I started, I was one of the only people ever doing it, and we were doing custom stuff, and we'd do it for big corporations, but we'd also do it for one-offs. If somebody wanted to upload a picture, we'd send them a skin for their laptop. But what I found was for 5 years I have passion, and then after 5 years I kind of coast down. Like I'm like, I have a 5-year cycle. That's who I am. I know this now, but at 5 years I had my son, and then it just started to coast down, but then I just lost my passion for it. So with this product, there was partly a fire in me about the fact that I didn't want that same thing to happen. And what happened was after 5 years, a ton of people came into the market and started doing it even better than I was doing it. And so I was like, well, they're better than me. Like, I like what they're doing, and I respect it. I don't know that I have it in me to try to do better. I'm not into it anymore. So part of the reason I decided to kind of go full force was that I thought, it's too good of an idea. Somebody else is going to do it. and I want to be the first one out there, and I want to draw a line in the sand. I did this, you know, kind of thing. And so, and because I was trying to show my son how to fail, it kind of like I became like this chasing failure person. So I was like, well, I don't know how to market this. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to get this industry. I don't know what to do next. And so I thought, well, I was having another coffee. I feel like anytime you're talking to someone else, the things you can't find on your own come to you. Like, so I had an old intern that I met up with for coffee, and I was like, oh, okay, I've got the product, but I don't want to do what I've done before, which is not launch it because I'm having fear of failure or whatever. And she's like, you should do a Kickstarter. And I was like, well, I don't need the money. I know how to make it. I always thought Kickstarter was about getting the money to make it. Okay. Because I didn't really think about the fact that you get an opportunity to share it with a bunch of people and really know if they would buy it, because they have to give you money, right? So, you know, in the old days, you do market research, you get a bunch of people in a room, ask them questions and get their opinions, but you don't know that they would really buy the product.
Right.
But Kickstarter, you get the money, you don't have to pay anything, they pay you, and you find out who is buying your product. So you can learn, like, that's how I learned a lot of photographers were buying it. And I was like, oh, of course. So I did,
you did your research and you got funded.
And I got money, and I got enough to do a big production run. So we did like $28,000. So it was perfect amount to be able to buy a larger amount of magnets, larger amount of everything. So the price came down, and then I could do my first run. And yeah, and that was a great jump off point. But then right after that was over, I still didn't know how to market the product. I was like, well, that was great. And so I would drink a little wine or maybe an old-fashioned or two. Yes, yes. And I would get online, just Google searching places that you might be able to submit through a form. Like if there's a big box retailer that I could submit a form on, okay, I would do that because it's low stakes. I don't have to do much, right? So I filled out a form, and it was for QVC. And I thought, okay, I'll fill this out. I don't really know how QVC works exactly. I assumed they sold your product.
Is that the TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'll just fill this out. And then I got an email that said, thank you for submitting for the Today Show contest, today's next big thing. It was like a product hunt contest. Oh. But I didn't know I'd filled that form out because it was in conjunction with QVC. So I had no idea that I'd filled it out, but I was like, oh, that's funny. I was drinking, I guess. That's just whatever. And then 2 weeks later, they called and said, you're a finalist. We want you to come to New York. And we're going to, and the way it worked was every day you would go on, there would be 3 products, and you would go out and you demo the product. And then America voted, right? Oh. But anxiety-ridden, and I'd never done TV, right? So I was like, oh no, I'm weird. This is not going to go well. I was having anxiety attacks. You know, I had those things of like, oh my God, I'm going to trip and be naked. Right. And I just thought it was going to go poorly. But I kept going back to, but if I do fall flat on my face, I show my son, right, and he'll remember it because he'll have the video of mom falling on her face and then getting back up.
I love how you were able to support your son.
Yeah, well, it helped me get over my fear. Yeah, it helped me get over the fear because there was a benefit.
Right.
If it goes really poorly, there's still a benefit to it. So I was like, okay, I'll go. And so I went and I did my day and I won my day and I went on the finale and I won the contest. And the next day I had to go on QVC and sell the product. And we sold $300,000 worth of product.
$300,000 worth of... In 1 day?
6 minutes.
6 minutes?
6 minutes.
$300,000 in 6 minutes.
It was insanity.
Oh my God.
I was,
because you were willing to take the risk for your kiddo.
Yeah. It was so, yeah, exactly. I mean, I did the whole like, hi Alex kind of thing on TV and stuff when I won, but yeah, it was surreal. It felt like a dream. I felt like I had this weird dream because Al Roker was like a super fan of the product, so he kept talking about it, and so I was like, I had this weird dream that Al Roker was there. He liked the product. And then I was on QVC. I sold 300. It so sounds like the weird dream, right? It does not sound like reality. And yeah, so then it was just. And then I started doing QVC regularly, so I would be able to go. We never did $300,000 again. That was just because of the excitement from the show and the winning and the whatever. But then we just kept doing that, and then I was in New York to do a follow-up on the Today Show, and they were having open casting call for Shark Tank. So I went over and did the open casting call and got on there, and then I just kept going. But by then, when I applied for Shark Tank, it was great because I had experience on TV, which I never thought. If you had said 5 years ago, Leslie, you're going to go on TV, you're going to be comfortable doing television, I would say there's no way in hell that's ever going to happen, because that's not my jam. I'm behind the scenes crafty girl. But I'm quirky, and quirky works on TV. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just do that. So
there's a personality.
Yeah, and then but that was the best part, was the Shark Tank situation was so fun because I wasn't nervous about the television part. I was just super psyched to be there. And I was like, if I'm weird, it's fine. I've been weird on QVC. I've been weird on the Today Show. It'll be fine.
Right.
And so it's fun.
Yeah, and really, that's one of the reasons I do this is to get comfortable.
You had said,
in front of a camera. 52 weeks of me and another woman.
Brilliant.
Helps me to. The only thing I can figure out is I am
brilliant.
who I am.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to change who I am.
Totally.
And so, does it matter if I'm me in front of a camera?
Yeah.
And my husband is going forward and backwards, teasing me because I've done something ridiculous like this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but it's human, right?
I'm me.
Well, and it's authentic too,
Yes.
because so I've always watched Shark Tank a lot, and when I coach people to do it, I say, be exactly yourself. Do not try to be somebody else, because it'll come off weird.
Yeah.
That is when it comes off strange on TV. It's when you're trying to fake that you're somebody else than you are. Prep authentically you. Like, I mean, I am a babbler, as you can. I babble on when I'm just talking to people. When I prepped for the show, I didn't do that. I prepped every answer and made it short so that it would work for television. But when I was there, I was authentically me. I just had my answers ready. You know, I was prepared for the medium. But, I mean, if I'd gone out and tried to be really buttoned up and really too professional, like, I went out and told America I had commitment issues with decorating.
I love that.
So, you know, if I'd done anything else, I know they would have sensed something strange, and they wouldn't have trusted me, and then they wouldn't have offered me a deal or whatever. So.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fun.
I like that. So as you've gotten to your success, and that's a lot of success.
It's been fun.
5 years, you
I
said,
know.
right?
4 years. We're at 4. I'm kind of getting close to where it's almost 5, and I'm worried that I usually want to move on. It's a new chapter, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you've got another product.
Yeah, always stuff.
So,
always more.
Always more. That could be your 5-year mark. Like, here, ta-da, launch.
New
product. We got the old one, it's making some money, here's a new one.
Exactly.
So, but in this 4 years' time, what would you, and you've had a lot of successes in a very short amount of time, which is lovely. Yeah. What would you say has been your biggest obstacle? Like, if you could tell somebody, hey, this is, because you've got a lot of good things accidentally happen. You know, you're drunk and you're accidentally applying for something that you won.
Those are the things you talk about when people ask you, like, oh, how did you get to where you were? And you say that, but there are always all these challenges. Like, right after I found out I'd done the Shark, or the QVC thing and sold all that product, I didn't have product. I had to make it, because they pre-sold it. And so I didn't know how to make it. So I had to figure out how to get manufacturing done. I had to figure out all these things, and as we're speaking right here, my manufacturer is closing down on Friday, and I just found out.
Yes.
This is like not something I imagined. Today's Thursday. I just started selling into Walmart, so I don't really have a lot. I mean, I did not see this coming. Right. So I think in business and starting something, there are things that you just don't see coming. And the only thing that matters is that you take the next step. You keep going. Like, you know, crap happens all the time. Like, it can be like you think this is going to happen and it doesn't, or, you know, you need more money than you think, or whatever it may be. Like, I in a million years did not see this coming. You know, like I just didn't see it coming. Right. And so I have to change the way I make the product because of the way that they were making it. I have to switch and make it differently. And I wasn't going to do that this month, but I am going to now.
Now you're going to do it tomorrow.
Right, yes, exactly. And so, now it's like there's a truck coming, bringing a bunch of the stuff to my office, and just so much stuff. But anyway, so I think with everything, I mean, for everybody, it's different, right? It's going to be for each, but shit will happen.
So no matter what, shit's going to happen.
Shit's going to happen. And then you just have to get up and move figure out how to get up and move on. You know, like how to take the next step and not get too stuck in the thing. If you stop, yes, it's over. But if you do the next step, it'll figure itself out. You know, like, and then just ask for help if you can find it. That's why I love F-Bomb. So great.
Asking.
Oh my God, they have a whole thing where like once a week they train you to say ask and offer. You know, like ask for something if you need it, offer it if you've got it. And I love that.
Right. It's
Because I think a lot of people get really isolated in business, and I did, and they don't know to ask, and so yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So
the question that I ask every woman that comes and sits
Yes.
in your seat is, as a woman, as a female, and with your own personal cultural background, how has that helped you or hurt you get to the level of success you're at today?
Yeah, I love that question. I think that I think women have a special ability to really come authentically at a problem and not try to be something that they're not, and really dive in and try and figure out the problems. We're also good multitaskers, and although some people say you can't multitask, but anyway. We're good, exactly. But yeah, you got like the project management style. I mean, like I swear, if you need someone to get stuff done, hire mom.
Yeah.
Like there's just this inherent. You have to figure out what's going on at all times, and I feel like those skills really help me. I think that is, and also I like the fact that so sometimes. In Seattle, it's a very tech-heavy entrepreneurship base. And so if I go to a meetup, I often get treated like a soccer mom with a project until they know I have sales and that I'm selling in Walmart or whatever. And I really hate that. I really hate seeing that change in their face from, I wasn't treating you with respect to, oh, you did Shark Tank? And I'm like, okay, I don't like this. But it does, what I like about it is, it weeds out all those people. Like, they were not my people. Anyway, if you didn't treat me with respect when I walked in the door, you're not my people. So I kind of don't mind the fact that there is, obviously I want all women to be equally paid and all the venture money to be equally distributed, all of that stuff. But I feel like you can kind of get through a bunch of bullshit just because you can tell how people treat you.
Right.
As a woman, founder, entrepreneur, and I did a deal with Lori Grenier on Shark Tank Blonde Lady, and she's amazing. But one of the reasons I wanted her was, like, she knows. Like, she's been doing this a long time, and she's gotten to the level of success that she has, and she gets, like, there was never going to be some undervaluing or underestimating my abilities. And so I love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you, as a woman, you have had your undervalued or underestimated.
Always.
A craft project.
Yes. Oh yeah. Often, I really, and they'll always go, oh, do you have sales? I was like, yeah, we're in Walmart. And I'm like,
do they do this?
It's often like, oh, what a good. No, usually it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, are you thinking to sell it? Yes. I'm like, okay, but I know they're not my people, so I'm like, I'm fine with it. Sometimes I don't even say what. I just like, yeah, maybe. Like, and then just walk away because there's no point. Like, it's not going to serve me. But when I was on Shark Tank, Lori said, before she made her offer to me, she said, I believe that there's no force equal to a woman determined to rise. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's so true.
Yes.
There isn't a force equal to a woman determined to rise. I just love it.
I like that. Anyway, that's a good quote.
Yeah, it was a great quote. And I'm like, she said it to me and about me. And I was like, okay, this is great. So I knew she'd be the right partner. And she's amazing. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you so much
Yes.
for coming and
Of
sharing
course.
your wisdom. And not just sharing with the audience and with me, but sharing the wisdom with our community in the F-Bomb.
Oh, of
you
course.
Really,
I love it.
like giving back.
Yeah. But people helped me along the way too. So you got to share it back.
I love
And it's
that.
fun.
I love that.
Yay.
So now, speaking of sharing, I would love it. We can find you in Walmart.
Yeah.
And on QVC.
On QVC and Bed Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And on our website, Amazon. We're around.
So if we go, what website?
So goodhangups.com is our website.
Okay, and it says it's Good Hangups. So if you can see this, Good Hangups, and then just add .com.
.com.
And there's a video of you.
Oh yeah, demoing. Yes.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah, it's handy because it's because people haven't seen the product before, so it's hard to. It's easier on. I like selling online because people get it.
Yeah, you can watch a little video.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, it works on wood. A friend of mine has a houseboat down in South Lake Union, and I said, "Hey,
yes,
you can use this on wood."
Yeah, it's true. And stainless steel fridges that aren't magnetic. Like there are 100 things that you can use.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Today.
And thank you for what you do because. I mean, really, I don't think I'd be here if we hadn't met online because of what you shared with everybody about the leaps you take, and I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being awesome.
Taking leaps.
Cheers to leaps.
Fuck fear and do it anyway. Right?
Absolutely. I love it.